We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, doing a full transition here from the rip area to the dip area and bouncing back up, finding support. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot sent out a bear indicator at 10:45 a.m. Outflows had crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness now on 42 vision, and put options went up 200% plus within minutes to an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, coming back up to test the highs of day. And we need to talk about what's going on within the charts with the bull and bear indicators, the inflow versus outflow. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot at 9:45 a.m. sent out a bear indicator. From that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness now on 42 vision, and put options went up 100% plus within minutes to an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our Discord and bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY doing a full transition from the dip area yesterday at the end of the day into the rip area at the open, coming back down to the dip area and in the process of pushing itself back up towards the high of the day and transitioning so far to dark green bars. Now, if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, under a bull indicator since 398 and canceling the bear indicator from earlier today at 400. Outflows had crossed over in the first half of the day, which was that alert early on in the morning from our SPY bot. And our SPY bot also sent out a notification on the way back up and full transition from the dip area to the rip area from around 397 to the high 0401. So it presented opportunities in both directions, but right now within the volatility here on the 30-minute time frame, we're back to a bull indicator and pushing up towards the high of day. And we need to talk about what's going on here as inflows are dominating again and what it is I would watch going into tomorrow, right? This is going to be crucial. This is going to be critical as we're going into the end of this week. And it isn't just the 30 minutes showing this strength. If we go ahead and zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we can actually see here that even though outflows are dominating on the 1 hour, inflows are trying to pick up towards the midpoint. And this is crucial and critical as right now it's hit multiple dip areas. It's kind of leveling off here and almost like trying to bring itself back up. And there's some key levels to watch here and resistance levels to actually watch if the bulls are going to be able to put up a fight and it's been a tight range here between 397 and 400, and the bulls are putting up a fight to try to get back above 400 and stay above it. So we're going to talk about some key levels here that I would watch going into tomorrow. So the first thing is we want to see these inflows continue to the upside on the 30-minute and pushing upwards away from the midpoint and holding true this bull indicator. And not just that, but also within the volatility on the 15-minute, it's done a full transition from white with red borders, as I call it, the dip area on 42 vision, to the rip area of bright green bars. And the first bright green with red borders has popped up, and usually that follows dark green bars, the red bars, and back down towards the dip area if the weakness persists. But this could be a slight pullback if it does pull back either in the after hours or tomorrow morning as the setup for the next bull run if it holds true this bull indicator and the inflows continue to dominate above the midpoint. This is critical and crucial here within the volatility of the 15-minute that I would not overlook, and I would be paying attention to very carefully as the bulls are fighting here to stay above the midpoint. And the first resistance level is the high of day up there at 402. And we talked about the support of below 400 being 397, then 395. And you could see that fight there between this area of 397, right? And in yesterday's video with this pullback and bounce back up, I had stated, could this be a double bottom effect here going into tomorrow? And it certainly happened over the aftermarket hours and the pre-market and open. And it went from 397 to 402. We've come back down to the same area, found support here, and the bulls are putting up a fight. That is something to not overlook. So here we are on the 15-minute. It's going to be crucial to hold true, even if it pulls back, to stay above the midpoint and that bull indicator. And on the 30-minute, I'm going to be watching for the same thing. If this can continue pushing upwards, and the key levels I would watch as support here to the downside, if the outflows begin and try to cross the midpoint to the downside, it's going to be 397. Below that is 395, and then comes the 393 area to 390 area, right? That depends how significant these outflows become and if this bull indicator gets canceled by a possible bear indicator. And same thing here on the 15-minute, if those outflows begin and there's a pullback that's much more significant, canceling out this bull indicator as well. So that's the first thing to the downside. Those are the key levels I'm watching as support. To the upside, if the bulls can continue to hold above 400 and get these inflows up even higher away from the midpoint on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute, well, the first resistance is 402. Then above that comes the level of 404 to 405. And then up here towards the 408 area, where there was multiple rejections when it tried to consolidate here on last Friday, February 17th, before falling back down and being in this tight range all week, right? Between the 396, 397 area to the 400 to 402 area. And here we are above 400 again, under a bull indicator. And if the inflows continue strong and the bull indicators continue strong on the 15-minute and on the 30-minute, I'm going to be watching, could this 1 hour finally cross over? Look, when I showed you guys earlier in the video, it was pushing itself upwards. Now it's getting even closer here on the 1 hour. I'm going to be watching this carefully because once those crossover happens, they tend to be significant. And the last time the inflows crossed over with some strength here was on February 10th to the 13th. And you could see there that full move followed by a bull indicator, full transition from the dip area to the rip area, going from 406 to highs here of 412. It may not seem like a lot, but overnight, when it comes down to options or even just the SPY moving in general, that's a pretty significant move, guys. Nearly $6 plus. So I'm going to be watching this very carefully going into tomorrow as we have the inflows getting pretty close to the midpoint. And just because it made this move the last time inflows crossed over, it does not guarantee the same move will happen again, but it is something to not overlook and miss. And the biggest difference here is that it got a bull indicator, and so far we have not gotten a bull indicator here just yet. And another example, when the inflows picked up and they stayed above and pulled away from the midpoint, the stock went from around 411 to 414. So the same moves are not guaranteed, but when these inflow crossovers tend to happen, followed by bull indicators and full strength there on 42 vision and on the 30-minute and 15-minute following as well, there tends to be possible strength and moves. So I'm going to be watching these bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow going into tomorrow. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.